The following program deals with a controversial subject. The theories expressed are not the only possible interpretation.
The viewer is invited to make a judgment based on all available information.
Ladies and gentlemen, another Friday night. Where's my head at? Another Friday night, another House of Stein Hot 10. Jesus, I'm all over the place tonight, you guys. But I got a crew with me. We're gonna rock this one out. Great show tonight. This Hot 10 list is the almost 10 list is amazing. The Hot 10 list is amazing. There's some really killer books on here. And I think that we're kind of figuring it out, how we're gonna move forward with some great merchandise for House of Stein coming to your way soon, I imagine, huh?
I was actually setting up a Shopify before the show. So yeah, so it's gonna be so cool. I'm gonna start, and a lot of this stuff is gonna have, so like when I do Stein packs, it's gonna have a code. You're only gonna be able to get the code if you are either on YouTube or Instagram, so you won't be able to buy it unless you have the code. There's going to be, we're really brainstorming on some of this stuff. My wife is laughing at me the whole time, but this is actually, but I'm actually really kind of excited about it. If there is anything besides Stein packs that I sell on this, it's only going to be like the most unbelievable deals that you could possibly get. I'm not going to put anything on there that, is like, oh, this is a $200 book on eBay and I want $199. Nope. If it's a $200 book on eBay, it's going to be, $120 or $100 or something. It's going to be some really good deal. Other than that, it's going to be basically strictly Stein packs and then if Yi wants to do packs as well, or Brian, they can do it as well.
Nice.
And we'll just run it straight through there, and go from there. But
I am getting a new PSA submission in soon, so I might have to do like a sports cards pack or something like that.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
Yeah.
So
I got to figure out the logistics of what the floor is, what the ceiling is, and all that. But
it's hard to do. It really is hard to do.
Yeah, I thought I had enough for for my last two previous submissions, and I was I was looking at the ceilings and stuff like that, and I was like, and the floors, I was like, there's not a good balance yet for me. So, but I'll figure it out.
Yeah, so I did get these I was off on vacation, so I've got vinyl stickers. I've got magnets.
Ooh.
And a very special that I'm not going to show. It will be in the future, a special sticker, limited to 50.
I got a sneak peek before we went live. It's amazing. I'll say that.
By the way, big thanks to Yeezy for jumping in for Richie tonight. Richie is studying for one of his final exams for his licenses, which shout out to Richie for pulling that off. Good job on him. So make sure you guys go check out Richie's site, Spec Media. You can find all his links below. We're trying to get him to 1,000 subs as fast as possible. But he's putting out great content constantly, so make sure you guys go check out his site. Find all the links and information in the description of the show. That being said, what is that, like a bad idea sticker? Hey, man, you guys know, the Bad Idea production crew is pretty damn amazing. I think we might have to pull some of that shit off. Get some great not production, promotion. So you never know. Shout out to Tomb in the house. Listen, 96 live right now, you guys, at the beginning of the show. Thank you for everybody that's joined us. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Appreciate all you guys. See a lot of community members and friends in here, so good stuff. All right. Let's get...
I'm so excited Yee's on here.
It's been a while.
Yeah, I'm excited
right?
to be here. Yeah. Thanks for the invite.
I love when Yee comes on.
All right.
He's literally asked me to be on his show for like 3 months in a row, and I'm such a terrible friend. I totally blow him off every single week.
Well, Ben and I, we discussed it. Like, we figured that we need to plan it out a little bit more with you and or DeVoe, like where you're submitting books, and then that way you're almost like halfway committed to show up. Then, right? Because then, like, we won't know what to talk about. It we'll be like, oh, Stein submitted this book, but he's not here to discuss it.
Yeah, it was a good show last week, though. Were you here last week or not?
I thought it wasn't it? I thought it was Richie on.
Was it
last
Richie?
week, wasn't it?
Was Stein here last week?
No, I was on
That's
vacation.
what I mean. Yeah. It was me, Richie, and Hood last week, I think.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was doing something else. I don't even remember what I was doing.
My head's all over the place, bro. I got 5-6 shows a week I'm doing. Got plans for another. And working on all these ideas to start selling stuff, start making a little bit of money doing this. And I think we're gonna figure out ways to have like Stein is figuring out these great ways to start selling these just a limited amount of people. With the Shopify account, I think I'm going to look into a Shopify account and start doing sales post live shows, which will be a lot of fun. I got some plans in the works. So yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. It'd be interesting to see how that plays down the road, but let's get into the show tonight. Great show. 100 live. Hit those thumbs up, you guys. The thumbs up really helps us with the algorithm. The algorithm's crazy right now. They're changing it seems like every couple of months, but the thumbs up really helps. The engagement really helps. If you guys want to drop a comment below or hang out with us on a live show like these 100 live with us, it really helps. Let's get into Buy the Dip. Let's do it. Woo! All right, starting off. Spider-Gwen number 25. This is the second print, I believe, right?
That is correct.
Where's my chat? Let me get my chat going here.
Oh, that is the second print.
Nice. There we go. Chat's going. Let's get the chat moving. Spider-Gwen number 25, the second print variant right here. Gwenum's still hot. Why is Gwenum so hot?
I don't know. This book's been like really good for a long time, though. I mean, like, whose dog was that? Was that Yee's dog?
Yeah. Well,
Happy
actually,
dog.
it was, yeah. One of the dogs.
One of the dogs. Yeah. So this has always been like, I mean, for probably, I would say probably the last, I don't know, year and a half, 2 years. This has been like a $75 raw book, $100 raw book. I think 9/8 of this were like 200 just a month ago. Just a month ago, 200 9/8, and 9/8 of this sold this week for $75. So you could buy a 9/8 for cheaper than what raws were going for not that long ago.
I thought they made an announcement recently about Gwen having the different variants of Gwen is going to show up in like what one of the Spider-Verse movies or something like that.
Was there talk of that? That's interesting. I haven't heard that, but I know that Spider-Gwen books right now are super hot. We've had multiple Spider-Gwen, not Spider-Gwen, Venom, Gwenum, whatever the hell her name is. Jesus Christ.
Ghost Spider or Spider-Gwen.
And then add a Inum at the end, right?
Gwenum, thank you. Jesus. Well, people are still on the hunt for this book too. So.
Yeah. Well, it's super cheap at the moment.
Yeah.
Like as cheap as it's been since way before COVID. So,
bro, I think that there's probably 10% of books that are selling for the amount they were at that time.
Yeah, it's kind of scary. I mean, it's not super scary. Like when you still do look at the graphs and stuff. Again, still, if you can just cut that entire COVID curve out of it, it's not the end of the world. But there basically is very, very little room anymore to, buy, flip, and feel like you've made out. Like it's
Yeah.
just there's no room for that.
Yeah. 100%.
Your buying has to be cheap, like cover price
or less.
or
On a
less
lot
at
of this
this
stuff.
point.
Yeah. All right, next book on Buy the Dip. Oh, the foil issues. This is McClay's kryptonite because I want them so bad, but I know how scary they can be. This can be the addiction that ruins people's comic books careers. Foil.
Yeah, I mean, especially this right here is what is the result um of doing this over and over and over and over and over again. Basically, just milking their customers. I don't remember who's putting them out. I really don't care, to be honest, who's putting them out. I don't hate them, but they are 1,000% milking their customers for basically nothing. I could draw this on
Nobody has to
Photoshop or
draw
something.
this. Yeah,
You
nobody
don't-
has to draw this. You don't have to pay an
you
artist fee.
you don't have to pay an artist.
You don't have to pay an artist. So it is very, very weak. Now, if DC decided to do it and they just put it out, I think I'd be okay with that. But the fact that a store is doing this with, and like I said, and basically is just kind of throwing people over the coals, I'm not that upset that the fact that so these were all selling a lot, all the colors, all the different things. 9/8 of these, were $200. These things were, but this one right here, and I think there was actually a different one, different color. 9/8 of these sold for $75 this week. So all that, yeah. So all that, hype and all that. Hey, everybody wants one of these. Nope. And honestly, I think that $75 may. I don't think that's the floor. I think it's gonna go lower than that.
Man, so many books nowadays. If you really want a book, there's very few books that you're gonna miss out on if you wait. There's very few. I mean, some of these books that we talk about that everybody wants, especially when they're on the Hot 10 list, that's the time where everybody wants them. You wait a couple months, for the vast majority of them, you're going to find them for much, much, much less. So,
yeah, I mean, I didn't necessarily initially when these all came out, and what I think is it's not necessarily that these individual books are overprinted, but when you just keep going to that well, and all of a sudden it's not special anymore, then nobody cares. Nobody's gonna fork out decent money for something that's not special.
Do you think if they spanned it out throughout years instead of months, that it would have maybe done a little bit better, or do you think it would have just kind of had the same kind of effect? Where
yes, yeah, because they were putting. I mean, how many different colors of different Superman and Batman books did they put out in the span of like 2 months? Like 10, 12. I mean, it was like every week there was. Oh, look, there's another color. Oh, look, there's another color. I mean, Superman's got what? I mean, pink, purple, blue, red.
All
black.
The Green Lanterns have one.
I mean, it's insane.
It's a lot. It's a lot, and unfortunately, it's going to kill. They could have rode this out. I feel like, man, I don't know. I look at it like we have to look at this multiple ways, right? People that are in this industry do it for multiple reasons, but if you're in this industry, the main reason you're in it is to make money. Okay. Now, if you're a hobbyist, if you just like to collect, you do it for the love of comics. But if you're in this industry, you're in it and you put all that hard work into it because you want to make a living off of it. Most of those people do still love what they do. I mean, I would hope that you love what you do. I know there's a lot of people in the comics industry that don't, but for the most part, they have to make money. So I understand this whole, hey man, this is a great idea. Let's do every foil color variant you can think of, and we don't have to. It's so easy and this and that. And the problem is they flood the market with them. And I feel like if they could do a slow roll on some of these, but the problem is if you do a slow roll on some of them, somebody's going to beat you to the punch, right? You can't
Oh yeah, that's true.
you can't say, "Hey, I'm the only one that can do these." Like Big Time Collectibles is pushing these things out as fast as possible because he knows if he doesn't, somebody else is going to do it. So it's such a fine line you have to walk. But if these are books that you're picking up either to flip or to buy, there's different times to buy to collect. There's different times to buy them, right? If you want to flip these books, you got to be in early and fast and quick, and then be very, very smart about what you're playing on, because there's a lot of those books that people say are going to be the books that don't end up being the books. But if you were in on these quick, you could have made a killing. Not now.
Yeah, and I think the problem is I don't mind companies trying to make money. That's really not the issue. It's basically just the fact of um, once you've done this, your customers are gonna be like, screw you, I'm not doing this again. I'm not buying these things from you. So yes, you may in the short term come out ahead. Um, I don't think this model is not sustainable. You can't just keep going to that same well over and over and over again, and especially on something as lame as this. Now, if it was, if he was getting Del Auto to, draw masterpieces over and over again, that might be something different. But I mean, we've seen it in all those Kirkham battle damage books where they basically cool. It was cool to start with, but then when it was on 75 different books, there's it's who cares then at that point?
Yeah,
This is
just
the
the
same
first three
thing.
were
Well,
cool to me, and then if
Yeah,
you're an Invincible fan, you throw in the Battle Beast book. But other than that, the rest of them,
yeah. I mean, it's like it's cool to start, but you can't keep going to that well that many times.
yeah,
is it any different than like David Nakayama doing the negative
no,
covers?
no,
Yeah.
Those don't well, and see those don't necessarily look the same. And like even like when John Tyler Christopher was doing the negative covers,
mm,
I mean he was putting out what maybe one every couple months, something like that. So yeah, it was. So I mean it was more like, hey, cool, we like we like the Rogue one. Hey, wouldn't it be cool to have a Wolverine one? Okay, and then he did a Wolverine one or something like that. But they weren't like
Oh,
literally
it wasn't
every
so condensed in time where it's like like every
so
week there's
condensed.
yeah, like every week there's one that's being released,
Yeah, I
and
mean
then
like
but it is but then at the same time with those negative covers, they're changing it up a little bit, like
right.
either the stance of how the person's standing.
Well, and it is actual art. This is not art
Right,
at all.
right.
yeah, yeah. I agree.
So,
I agree. And we're gonna see more of these, be affordable. So, all right, let's continue on next on Buy the Dip. Speaking of John Tyler Christopher, here we go. Buy the Dip on John Tyler Christopher. Civil War #2, JTC, negative space variant.
Boy, this one's gonna hurt some people. Yeah, this one sold a CGC 9.8 of this sold this week for $25.
wow.
Yeah. Um, yeah. I mean, again, it lost a lot of its luster for kind of the same reason. People that, I mean, unfortunately, I think comic people we're completionist at
Yes.
heart. Like we don't like not having something. Um, and when it just becomes financially impossible to actually um, complete something, you just give up. I did it with art germ covers. When I could feasibly do it, I was getting them all. But then once it was like, every week was coming out a new book, and it was every single one of them was going to be costing me. You had to buy them in sets of three, and they were $80 a pop, and it's like there's no point in me continuing on at this point. I'll just stop. I don't buy any of them. So I think that's what happened with these as well. Is there's just too many of them. The cost is too high, and you know, again, I think in the long run, um, he hurt himself by doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this one isn't one of the best. The color, I just don't like the red. The color red just doesn't, and it doesn't, on certain characters, the negative space variant doesn't work. You would think it would work, but it just doesn't. And this one just doesn't work for me. So I'm not surprised. Some of the other ones that he has, they'll be up there for a while, but we'll see.
Wasn't this one of his like earlier ones too as well?
Yeah,
This
and
came
was-
out in 2016.
Okay.
So his first one was that Witchblade 138. That was his first one.
Yes,
Okay.
but it wasn't like his own. This was like like a store variant or whatever.
Yeah. So, all right, let's move on, you guys. Eve, issue number 1. Oh boy, everybody was talking about this book. This book was such a big book. Huge, massive. Everybody was wanting in on this. And for good reason. It seemed like a really good story. What's going on with this book long term? I heard maybe option news and something like that. Has anybody heard anything?
Well, wasn't the rumor that because of the second series, like the writer was only going to do that if it had potential to be optioned, or there was like news on it or something like that, or some sort of deal working in the background?
I didn't know.
So I mean, yeah, so that's why they launched the second part to this, right?
Yeah, because there was like a new run, like Eve Part 2 or something, whatever they called it or something like that.
Did they
yeah,
go
it's
to?
crazy.
Did they leave Boom and go to Dark Horse, or did
I thought it
the
was
Eve
still-
2 series stay on Boom?
I thought it was still with Boom.
Okay.
Wait.
I'm not sure. Let's look really fast.
Yeah.
But for the reason that it's on here, CGC 98 sold this week for what I say, $12.
Huh.
So, yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, I mean, it was supposed to be the next Kanto
Yeah.
or whatever.
It was supposed to be the
mean,
next
it's kinda-
something, that's for sure. A lot of people were talking about it. This was definitely a Mel V book. I remember Mel V talking big about this book and on Drunken Chat and stuff, and I could see why. So,
Yeah, and I mean,
it's
this only came out.
this is right up Mel's alley of the type of stuff that we all think is going to just be so good, and then for whatever reason, they just don't. Mel's very good at picking out books like these indie type books like this. You can just tell they're going to be, popular. So.
Yeah, well, if you, I can tell you that this is very, very. If you still are on the speculation train at all, this is definitely a really, really cheap buy-in right now. So, I mean, for $12, I mean, if I saw it for $12, I think I probably would have bought it. Just at worst, I'll just give it to my daughter someday or something like that. Like, I mean, like, there is like literally no risk at a $12 buy-in.
Yeah. Yeah, there were some great variants to this too, if I remember correctly. Some really good variants. All right, let's move on. Young Avengers number 1. Oh boy, the dip continues.
Oof, man, what did this thing cap out at?
Like 1,200,
1,500, something like that, wasn't it?
something like that.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly, but it was well over a grand for 9/8 of this. And there were two sales this week. One was for $275 and one was for $250 for CGC 9/8 of this.
Wow.
Yeah, $250.
Wow, look what Ronnie said. Ronnie said he paid $12.50 for a 9/8 a year ago.
$12.50.
Wow.
Yeah. So, um, yeah, $2.50 for 9/8 of this.
I would hold these at that point. I wouldn't sell these.
I wouldn't sell it. I
Not for
mean,
$2.50.
the only way I would sell it is if I bought this at cover price, graded it myself, and then was able to sell it. That would probably be the max.
I would rather
Um,
put these in like in a giveaway than sell it for $2.50 at this point. You know what I mean? Like make a really cool
almost.
giveaway. Like this book, so many great spec plays in this book. Man,
Now, does the CGC label does that actually like notate every first appearance on this?
there sure is a lot of first appearances. Let's take a look. Yeah,
I was also gonna look at the census because this does matter on this particular book. The census number is pretty high. Crap, wrong button here. This was 2005. So it says first appearance of the Young Avengers, Patriot, Iron Lad, Asgardian, and Hulkling, and Kate Bishop. First Alan Heinberg comic work. 2,252 9/8 in the census.
wow. I didn't realize this was the first Alan Heinberg comic work. That's interesting.
Looks like we have another book to add to the list.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, while I would not necessarily be too concerned about, I mean, like too like, hey, I'm really happy with having the first Hulkling or Iron Lad. I mean, that first case, Kate Bishop is I mean, I enjoyed the Hawkeye show. Did you guys like the Hawkeye show? I thought it
It
was
was
really
good.
good.
Yeah, it was really good. I thought that the Black Widow character saved it, though, unfortunately. I mean,
Oh, Yelena.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed watching it. So I'm excited to see what they do next on it, then, or if
Yeah,
there
I
is
mean-
any kind of follow up to it.
Yeah, we'll see. Man, 250, 275. Yeah.
cheap.
Yep.
If you ever wanted it, definitely now is probably the time to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think this is the last one. Yeah, that was the last one for Buy the Dip. So make sure you guys go check out Richie's page, Spec Media, on YouTube. There are links below. Let's move on to the Almost 10. Starting off, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles book. There we go. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue number 140. This is the Kevin Eastman retailer incentive cover. What was it? 1 in 50? Yeah, 1 in 50.
Yeah, it just came out this week. Obviously, homaging the first issue.
New
I thought
characters.
Turtles was leaving IDW. Is it not?
No, Turtles is the only one that's still there.
Okay.
G.I. Joe and Transformers left, and Turtles stayed.
So they're keeping Turtles.
Yeah. As far as I know, unless I'm wrong, unless they're only there for a little bit longer, because I'll be honest, the variant covers and all covers for the Turtles books lately have been killer. Every once in a while, Turtles will go through a run where their covers are so good. I hope the storyline's as good as the covers. If anybody's reading it, let us know.
I'm not sure I've ever read a Turtles book.
Really?
But
No.
I kind of like stopped a little bit after.
You didn't read Last Ronin?
Jenica
Jenica,
and stuff like that. Yeah.
I did not.
But I mean, yeah, it's always hard to tell like if an Eastman cover is going to hit or not too, because sometimes the art's not even available until after FOC.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
and his drawings are sketchy. Like, some
Very
of them are
sketchy
like
in both terms.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so this one in 50, it is selling for 70. So not terrible. Brad says there's one on MCS right now for 75. I think MCS has that listed at, but see where MCS changed their new book like grading, you don't really know if it's like near mint or not. Like you used to be able to like tell, but didn't they change their policy like on all new books? They just put near mint minus on everything, and you don't. It could be near mint minus or it could be near mint. You don't know.
Yeah.
It's one of the two. One of the two. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I've heard even sometimes you could buy like a mid-grade one, and it ends up being your rent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a. I mean, I get why they do it because they've got too many books to try and grade, but and they probably don't have the staff to do it. But it makes it pretty. So Brett says on the ratios they still give a grade.
Okay, good. Hopefully.
I guess I don't know. I just knew they changed their policy, but I don't order from them hardly ever. So
$70 to $75 for a 1 in 50 is a nice little come up for books
yeah,
right
not
now.
bad. Yeah, not terrible.
Especially for a new book. All right, moving on. Next on the Almost 10, Adam Hughes sketchbooks are amazing, and this is the Adam Hughes Uncovered Run sketchbook from 2014. And I believe is it all of his Catwoman covers on the inside, if I'm not mistaken?
I don't know.
I want to say that it is, but I could be wrong. I love Adam Hughes sketchbooks, and I don't own any. I hate myself for that.
I really love sketchbooks in general. I still think that they're way underappreciated overall. There are some great ones out there that are very, very hard to find, of some really good artists, and you see a lot of art in there that you don't necessarily see all the time. A lot of it's with like watercolors or different, kind of different media, that you may see different from the actual covers. Um, I think they're a lot of these are super limited too. I mean, like there may only be like 500 or 700 of them, so they're tough sometimes. This one's weird because it looks like where the I guess that's his thumb, that's on there, but it's a weird it's just a weird cover for sure. But I think it's kind of original too, to be honest. Like that's pretty interesting that he did it that way.
Yeah, he's great, man. He's really good when he does his like innuendos or like little funny fourth wall breaks. I put him up there with like Frank Cho and a lot of the cool sketch stuff that he does. So
yeah, this one sold for $150 this week. So I think these sketchbooks are like when you buy them initially, they're like $25 maybe. They're not expensive.
They were cheap, especially back then.
Yeah, especially back in 2014. So,
and a lot of times you could just pick it up at the artist table, so you get to meet them as well too when you're picking it up.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
A lot of these artists will also they'll hand number them, so which is I think a bonus. I like when they hand number them.
Bonus. I agree. All right, moving on. Tekken, issue number 1. This is from 2017. This is the Cover F Tong variant. Very interesting. I've never seen these.
Yeah. First of all, I didn't know that they had an F cover. That's a lot of covers.
Yeah.
Titan Comics. So they're the same ones that do Doctor Who, right?
I believe so.
That sounds right. And they're the ones that did Gun Honey.
Okay.
Yeah, because they did that like under their like alternate brand or something, right? Something like that. Like they have like a crime brand or something like that. Isn't that what they did?
I can't remember.
Because like isn't it like the same company that does like the
they did the Cowboy Bebop as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So they have their fingers in a whole bunch of different IPs.
Oh yeah.
Like
yeah, they also do those magazines, right? Those like the Star Wars.
The Star Wars Insiders.
The Star Wars Insiders. Yeah. So Yeah, I think it's a cool thing. I've noticed some of these like um, when you start getting into some of these kind of obscure titles. I mean, like I don't know how many people were ordering Tekken comic books, and then the fact that they had an A, B, C, D, E, F, and they're all like just order, to order, none of them are ratios or anything like that. So these people had like the the stores had to actually order cover F. They didn't just get it. Um, so I've never seen it either, like Brian, but
Well, yeah, I mean, I've definitely seen some of these covers for this title, but not this specific cover before. But I mean, it could also just be the hype of, Street Fighter 6 just released. We're getting a Tekken 8 eventually. So I wonder if it's like that kind of beat
Hype.
building for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Very interesting.
$35 book.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Was
That's
not
not
expecting
bad.
that.
Hey, Stein. I got a question for Stein real quick because I was in a comic shop the other day and I had somebody say, well, what should we be looking for in the back issues bins? And and it made me think to myself, like, when Stein goes into a comic shop, do you go looking at titles or do you just start at like box one and just start going through everything?
It depends on the store. Like Yi sent me to a store in Austin,
Oh,
um, and I think they may have had, I don't know how many. I mean, if you were like, they were like in boxes, like in wood, like shelves or whatever. But if you like tried to like put them as far as like long boxes, they had to have like what 400 long boxes or something on the floor. I mean, there's no way I would have time to go through 400 long boxes or something like that.
yeah. And then they
but-
actually keep pretty organized as well too. So
Oh,
like
that store was perfect because everything was perfectly organized, so that was wonderful. Um, some of the places that I will go to, I'll try a lot of these stores, and if they're smart, they do this. Is they will have like set boxes of like new inventory or something like that. If I see anything that says new inventory, I 100% go through every single one of those books. I start from the beginning and just go through every single one of them. I tend to not go to dollar bins that often unless I just have nothing else to do or whatever. But I kind of have in my mind like things that I don't see often. So when I'm flipping through books, I stay away from a lot of the stuff that you see like all the time. If there's books that just are regular issues or something, what I'm looking for is things that catch my eye. Like I have never seen that book before, and if I haven't seen it before, and then that means probably nobody else has seen it before either. And I want those. Because that's the kind of stuff that I end up buying.
Hell yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
love looking through ratio boxes at shops if they set them aside onto a different box.
Yeah.
And then like just looking through random titles, and then sometimes you can find ratios within their back issues just because like whoever priced it didn't know.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, honestly, if I don't think it would necessarily be. It's hard to explain exactly how I kind of do it, but I will say that I have had over the past 7, 8 years, 9 years, I've had really, really good luck at finding all kinds of stuff that people are like, "Wow, how did you find that?" Type stuff. There's a few books that I've never found that I look for every single time, but for the most part, I mean, if you think of like all the top variants from the past 20 years, I've had probably 80% of them just by finding them in back issue bins.
Hell yeah. All right, let's move on. Next on the almost 10. This is Freaks. This is issue number 1. This is the holographic issue. They did do a limited to 200 gold holographic issue, but man, this is a interesting book right here that I have never ever heard of.
Malibu, right?
Yeah, I love Malibu too.
Goofy Malibu.
Yeah.
It may have been the gold cover. I didn't. I mean, because who the heck is buying Malibu hologram covers, right?
Yeah.
Maybe John Z.
They're rare.
I think.
I look for them. I've had people give me hologram covers to give to John Z before. So people are out there looking for John Z for them.
Yeah, that's really really weird. And this may have been, like I said, it may have been the gold. I don't even know how you could
No, the
tell.
gold sells for much, much more, I believe.
Okay, so yeah, so this one sold for $75. It's like I said, I- it's a Malibu comic of freaks. I don't know. I don't. It's kind of confusing to me, but
Whoa,
I will.
Malibu has more comics than just the Malibu 713.
Yeah.
I will say this, and this is not just, anybody who's been watching the show probably for the last 6 months. The books that are selling are books that are hard to find. These are the ones that are actually selling for premiums. Like right now, I mean, like there for about the last, when all these books started crashing, I was like, man, this is a time for me to be able to pick up, the ASM Campbell Lizard cover or something like that. I'm like, oh, now I can buy it because all the books are going down. And then like when you go to look for that one, the price has gone up. It's the books that have like an inherent difficulty to them. Those have not really come down in price. I think it's the common books like the Young Avengers one, where there are thousands of them out there. Those are the ones that have dropped to oblivion, as opposed to some of these that are not easy to find.
Well, do you think it's because of new people joining into the hobby and they've picked up some of these books that everyone has already? Now that they're like maturing in what their taste or what they're looking for, and so now they're on the same page as everyone else, like chasing after these obscure, hard to find books that only a handful of people have.
It could be. Even if you think of like your Spider-Gwen that you have, I mean, like that one still was retaining a lot of value, even though or Ghost Spider, whatever that is. Is Spider?
Oh,
Yeah,
with the 1/100.
yeah, the Ghost Spider. I was thinking Spider-Gwen, but yeah, like those books you just don't see that often, and so they're still worth quite a bit. But all the other ones that everybody has, the X-23 Delato is still expensive. All those really hard to find books are still expensive.
Yeah.
Amen. Yeah, the rare ones it's always about rarity. To me, it's rarity, then go after the vintage high grade stuff. You know what I mean? Like those two categories, vintage and high grade and rarity, are the keys. So for me in comic collecting right now. But all right, let's move on to next on the Almost 10. Man, this list is great tonight, you guys. I'm telling you, this list is great tonight, and this is one of the reasons. How many of you have ever seen this book? Spoof Comics presents number 9, one of the most amazing Lobo covers, fake Lobo covers. I don't care just Lobo covers, period, right here. Wow, this is awesome. I've never seen this, dude.
I hadn't either, and they called it what, hobo?
Yeah, hobo patricide. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd never seen this one either. It's not a variant. It's just issue number 9 of Spoof Comics. I think didn't Adam Hughes do some of the covers for Spoof Comics?
Yep, a ton of them.
Like,
yeah,
Bat
I was hoping
Babe
this was going to be Hughes for a second, but it's not.
Oh gosh, if that would have been Hughes, that would have been crazy.
Like off the charts. Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, I'd never seen this one either. Apparently nobody else has either, because it sold for $80 this week. So for Spoof Comics.
Jeez.
I bet this one's hard to find in high grade.
Oh,
I bet this is really hard to find in high grade.
I could tell the paper on it's going to be shit, and
Yeah.
Man, this is awesome. This is so great. This list tonight, you guys, is killer. I'm telling you. Just continue as we continue on. It is amazing.
Hey, I guarantee you, people are going to be looking for. They're gonna be like going for that. But see, here's what's weird. So, like, would like stores know that this is called Spoof Comics and like like sorted in the S's, or would
No.
they put it under H's for hobo?
Probably under
Probably
the H's.
another. Yeah.
That was a tough one, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's like that new Avengers book, right? That where it says Century on the cover, and it looks like that's the title, but it's actually a new Avengers book.
Yeah, crap like that.
Oh, did we lose Bryan Windsor Smith? I know he was in the hospital and it wasn't looking good, but I didn't know if he passed yet. Man, that is multiple greats in the past week. Wow, that's a bummer.
Oh yeah, Ramita died, right?
Ramita, Barry Windsor Smith. Man, that's a bummer. That is a bummer. But yeah, Hughes did a bunch of covers for Spoof Comics. Weren't those the ones where he did like the Batgirl one and the Supergirl one? And they were called something different.
That was
Stuff
early. That was early Hughes, right?
Yeah, yeah. When he was doing work for them, yeah, early Hughes. Yeah, man, great book right here. All right, moving on. 183 live. Let's continue on. Lady Death, Nightmare Symphony, issue number 1. This is the Art Germ Metal Legend variant. And this is a beautiful Lady Death cover. Shout out to all the Coffin Comics fans out there and Brian Pulido fans. This is beautiful.
Yeah, this one honestly probably is when I stopped collecting Art Germ covers, is because this one's limited to 77. There is a different cover that I don't even think this one's a metal cover. They have this one and a metal cover. I think the metal cover is numbered at a 13, which is bizarre. But this one was numbered at a 77. And it sold this week, a CGC 9.8 sold for $1,100, which again, this is why I stopped collecting Art Germ covers. While I love this cover and it would be awesome to have, the buy-in was pretty high on this, like 300, I want to say, is what the buy-in was, and they sold out like instantly, so you couldn't even really get it.
Huh. Interesting.
Crazy.
Real quick, I want to say that it doesn't look like Barry Windsor Smith isn't dead. My bad for saying that. I apologize. He is at home recovering after being having a stroke and 8 days in the ICU. So,
oh wow,
yeah, this was published June 12th. So unless something else has happened within the very recent, let's all send positive thoughts and prayers out to Barry Windsor Smith, one of the greats. So that is a bummer. If I've ever, man. All right, 189 watching live right now. Let's continue on the almost 10 with Spider-Man issue number 12, the 1 in 25 Isanov variant. Man, I'm surprised that this book hasn't been on the Hot 10 list recently.
There's so few of these that sell that it's really hard to like track sales for it, because it just doesn't really sell that often. You wouldn't think that you'd think that there'd be plenty of them out there, being just a 1 in 25. But I guess there's just really not. But boy, did it sell high this week. CGC 9.8, $3,000.
wow.
$3K for a 9.8 of this.
Wow.
Which I think the last sale, like I said, 9.8s of these don't sell often, but I think the last sale of this was last year for maybe like 1,200, 1,300, something like that. $3K.
It's incredible. I mean, with this all black cover, it's gonna be hard to get in high grade anyways.
That's fucking bonkers right there. That is, wow. And I never really this cover's good, but it's not great to me.
I would never spend $3K on this.
It's Spider-Gwen's face that throws it off.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what it's like. Her eyes are really close together, and then the bottom, it just doesn't have the same look like some of the other Spider-Gwen covers.
Yeah,
There's
I
like no
agree.
chin to it,
Yeah,
to her.
man, $3K for this. Jesus. Wow.
Somebody out there is still spending money on stuff. I don't know
Yeah.
who it is, but somebody is. I mean, like we saw, what was it, a couple weeks ago, where that what was it, that book that Chloe's sold that was an all like beyond all time high.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was, but I mean, it was like way, way, way more than like the highest sale had ever been. So somebody out there is still buying.
Man, great list tonight. Let's move on with this book. Blew my mind. I put this on the market report on Wednesday night because I didn't know. I remember there being something crazy about a Finch Moon Knight cover, but I didn't know about this, the MMRC variant for Vengeance of Moon Knight #1. And boy, did it have a huge raw sale this week.
Yeah, another $3,000 sale for a raw copy of this. Um, yeah, and how was this? I know there's very few of these out there.
I forget what MMRC stands for. We had it in the live chat the other night. Jesse told us about, let us know what it is. Marvel's retailers something, and but they think there's only about 175 to 300 copies of this out there.
That's first of all the Finch back in the like I love Finch. Like it looks really really good.
Yeah,
Like this cover is really really good.
yeah,
So yeah, and the fact that it's just it's the what is it, the A cover, right? It's just the Virgin Marvel Retail Resource Center.
yeah. There's a black and white of this also too. There's the A cover is this with the trade dress, and then I feel like there's a second print black and white, and then there's this super rare
Yeah.
variant. Yeah. Man, what a great comic right here. And how many people would pass this up, not realizing what it is?
Probably like everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, unless it had like a COA on the back or something like that, but then then the shop would probably know what it was then at that point, right?
Yeah. That's a great, great book. 3K raw for that book right there. We're dropping some major knowledge on the show tonight. So make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. 194 live. Hit those thumbs up. It'll really help us out. We appreciate you guys. Continuing on with Angela, issue #1, the newsstand on the Almost 10 this week.
Yeah, not. And I initially sent Brian the wrong picture. I sent him Spawn 9. And I was like, nope, I meant Angela. It is Angela. There was only what, 3 issues in this miniseries?
I believe so.
4?
Yeah, that
4?
sounds right.
3 or 4? Not many. I think this is her second appearance. Is that right?
Yeah, this is 94, so I believe so.
Yeah, so
Was
this
she
might
in?
be, I think.
Was she in issue #10?
I don't know. I thought this might be her second, but I could be completely wrong on that. It's definitely a '90s cover for like 1,000%. Because it's super stylized. But this newsstand is just really difficult. For whatever reason. CGC 9.4. So I know a lot of people, especially on moderns, like anything that's less than a 9.8, they're like, nope, I don't want it. Doc Joe is 100% like that, but it's a 9.4 and you can't find it. So $85 for a CGC 9.4 for this. So if you do happen to see it, even if it's not 100%, perfectly near mint to mint, it's still not a bad pickup, and it still is probably profitable to grade it even at a 9.4.
And this is the reason that Todd McFarlane and Neil Gaiman don't get along.
Yeah.
This is?
Yeah, I believe so. This is the series that they spent so much time in court about and who has the rights to Angela and all that stuff. So, yeah.
I definitely like how CGC is notating newsstands now too, as well.
Yes. Yeah. And this is
So.
second appearance according to our chat. So, by the way, shout out to all of our chat, especially shout out to our mods. AOA, thank you so much for dropping links and everything that you do. We really appreciate you guys and, helping out the show. We can't say that enough for how much we appreciate everybody that helps out, especially the mods, with dropping great links in there and helping us out immensely. So, thank you. All right. How much did this sell for again?
$85 for a CGC 9.4,
which is
not a first
basically raw. You know what I mean? Like I look at some of those 9.2s and 8.5 sales, and you'd just be better selling them raw and cracking them out for the most part. So let's move on to our final almost 10 book of the night. Hellacious. Issue number 1. I've never heard of this. This is out of Starburns Industry Press from July of 2018. Very Scotty Young-esque.
That's
right?
what I thought it was. When I saw the cover, I was like, oh, that's some kind of weird Scotty Young book.
Yeah.
Nope.
Almost
thinking-
Invader Zim, too.
Yeah, I was thinking Invader Zim is what I
Yeah.
was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, I've
Wow.
never heard of this book.
Very
And who's
interesting.
Who's the publisher?
This is Starburns Industry Press.
Starburns Industry Press. I've never heard of that.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I don't know anything about this book at all. All I know is it sold for more than $30 this week. So, and this is what from like this is only just a few years old, right?
Yeah, 2018.
Yeah, 2018. So it's not like it's something from like the 90s. It's some weird indie, that's from the 90s. Zombie said that's my sale. It was optioned by TBS. What?
Ooh,
Okay.
What?
there we go.
I have never heard of that. Like as a cartoon or as like live action?
Oh, they said
Hope a cartoon.
wasn't TBS? Yeah, wasn't TBS starting to do some of the late night stuff that's like geared towards like stoners?
Yeah.
So like they're trying to. Oh, he says Red Hot Chili Peppers are producing it. That is weird. What? That is really strange.
That's
Huh.
cool.
So they're doing like an Adult Swim type thing or whatever.
Yeah,
Couldn't
I mean,
even
I
be
think
for
a lot
kids.
of yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the late night stuff has been kind of doing that stuff, right?
Yeah, most of the kids that are getting older now grew up on cartoons. Well, I mean, we grew up on cartoons also, but like, I think that's why there's so many cartoons that end up being adult series. Like we can enjoy watching cartoons that aren't even really quote unquote meant for adults because of the time era we grew up in, right?
Yeah.
So, man, that's cool. Congrats on that, Zombie Prophet.
Delicious. I kind of want to find it.
Yeah, be on the lookout now. That's put it into Stein's comic book brain right now.
It will stick in there for sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is the almost 10. Now we get into the fun part everybody's been waiting for, starting off with our Golden Age issue of the week. Ken Shannon, issue number 7 from Quality Comics from 1952.
I've never heard of this series
No.
at all. Ever.
No.
Mhm.
And this cover is really like when you look at it initially, you're like, oh, some weird little monsters like attacking this woman. But if you like look really close, like dude's eyes are like melting off his face. Like the one eye's like down here by his mouth,
The ugliest man in the world, bro.
I guess. But
And it's a lady in red with great color on the cover still.
yeah, never heard of this one ever.
10 center.
Yeah. CGC 7.0 sold for $2,700. Overstreet, I think, had 7s listed at like $130. So, 20x Overstreet.
Wow.
But Overstreet's
There's-
definitely in touch with the comic world.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
I remember-
Where's Anthony and Laura when we need them? This is a perfect Anthony and Laura cover.
Oh yeah, for sure. He's going after I don't know who's like their arch enemy that's trying to kill Laura.
Steve Horn.
Oh God.
Continuing
this part of the
on.
episode's going to be on the comic drama part now.
Continuing on for the next honorable mention. Edge of Spider-Verse issue 1, the Andolfo Bry's Comics variant, Virgin, limited to 250. Now, it was a very, very smart idea to do a variant of these two kissing, but I'll be honest, there's something about this image that is just off-putting to me. I don't know. Maybe it's their faces. Their faces look like they're not, like they're smiling and touching each other's faces. Like, it's very weird when you look at their faces. But anyways, only 250 of these, and it's on the list.
What was this? What was the deal with his 1 of this?
Did he do a
Did you-
1-on-1
did-
of this?
Yeah, like it's like a CGC 10 or something like that, and then someone asked him about that, and so like he printed 1,000 copies, and then CGC destroyed all but 1 of 1,
What?
and something
Uh,
like that. It's like it's on his IG explaining
all right.
it.
Explain why this. I'll go look on his IG real quick while we look this up.
I mean, but has any other comic done a 1 of 1 like that? Like kind of like sports cards, I guess.
Why would you destroy 999 issues?
Just to have one.
Yeah, that
On the
doesn't make any
census.
sense. Yeah, that's stupid.
Oh, and it was destroyed by CGC. I mean, I figure it's like kind of like similar to what that gold foil Superman cover.
Hmm.
Here we go.
But yeah, I'm hoping it doesn't start a trend.
Yes.
Oh,
I
so that
agree.
is the 1 of 1. That's what Spec Collector is saying.
Oh, the Virgin is the 1-of-1. Okay, so that's not what was selling. So there's the trade dress ones are the ones that are selling, and I guess those are the ones that are numbered out of 250. How exactly are we verifying there's 250 of these?
Unless he did that part of the CGC account too.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, let me take a look.
So what
'cause-
he sent like 1,000 of them to CGC, and they found one that would grade a 10.
So this is what it says here. It says, this awesome collectible has gone out to its lucky new home, the rarest Marvel exclusive in history, a 1 of 1. What do you guys think of this concept? Does it suck? Does it kind of suck because only one person gets it? Is limited to 20 copies the sweet spot? 50. Do you have any other ideas to make this an epic rare variant? I'm glad that I did it. It's cool to be the first to do something in the hobby, but I'm not sure I'd do it again. You're destroying 999 issues. What is he doing
Yeah,
with
and
those
then
issues?
and then read Nemesis Prime's comment on there, and then he replies to all that.
Okay, so Nemesis says, let's talk. Man, this should be a drama alert segment. Stein,
Sorry.
welcome to Drama Alert, Stein. Nemesis Prime says, let's talk about this. How is it a 1 of 1? Were thousands printed and all but one destroyed? Give people more insight. Bry's Comics says, yes. He says, 1,000 printed, all sent to CGC, all destroyed but one. And then Nemesis Prime says, this will just hurt the hobby in the long run. People will do the same and create a variant and destroy every copy just for the 15 minutes of fame to make super duper rare variant for some idiot to spend money on when they could invest in key comics. How much did this sell for? Years later, when the seller decides to sell it and gets less, it will look stupid. Oh man, this is very interesting.
Okay, look, I don't hate the idea. I mean, I am all for 1 of 1 comics. I'm for it in sports cards. I am all for it in comics. I just want to know how is it stamped 1 of 1? Does it say it on the comic anywhere?
Here
So
you go.
yes, so when you look at the picture of the slab, there's no 1 of 1 on. I mean, it says it on the label, right?
So it says numbered 1 of 1.
But when you look at the comic itself, you don't see anywhere where it's like foiled stamp 101 or anything like that, like on the front or the back. Like he just has that COA, and then I guess we're supposed to trust CGC to destroy them all as well.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if we can verify, I mean, so like if we can verify that there is only one of it, I'm totally down with it. I don't understand the point of like the person's comment that says what it say, like why would you make somebody spend money on this when they could spend it on something else? I hate that argument because you could do that on any collectible. You could.
Oh, he's
at any
doing it again right away. He's got another variant coming out where he's only limiting it to 20 copies. A Del Auto. He's doing the same thing, it looks like.
I mean, this is similar to the concept of those Del Auto or those Spider-Man Italian packs.
Mm-hmm.
I love the idea of having ultra rare. I mean, honestly, that's why sports cards, still, even though a lot of them have come down in price, I mean, they still sell because people want those things that are super, super rare. So I have no issue. I just want to verify, like, one of one cards. It is verified that it's a one of one. I mean, it's stamped from the factory, one of one. So, or written on the back of the card, there is no other one. So that you can verify. This, I just don't know how you can actually verify that.
Oh, man. I don't like this. I like rarity. I don't like destroying 1,000 books to do it. And I agree. And like, I don't know. Shout out to Mrs. Horsecock Express, though, for the $4.99 super sticker. We appreciate you. One of the best. Greatest name in the community. Well, all right, you guys. Let's continue on. On to number 10 this week. Oh, boy. This is a beaut. And, we've been talking about this book for a while on Beyond Wednesdays. You guys know I'm a big fan of Battle Chasers, Joe Madureira. I've always loved the original copy of this. I love that Battle Chasers is continuing the run at number 10. They stopped at number 9 way back when. They're continuing the run at number 10. And Bird City did a great homage. Now, you guys know I catch a lot of shit for talking the way I do about homages. I love some of them. I hate most of them, yada, yada, yada. The ones that I love, they do it. There's a certain way that you do homages. You homage it so people know the comic book that you're referencing, but you do it in a way where it looks maybe a little bit better than the original or a little bit different. There's a way of doing homages where they work very well. And this one is great right here. Ariel Diaz variant, limited to 500. This is great.
The original sucked.
Yeah, the boob kind of made it weird.
The original, I've looked at that thing 1,000 times trying to figure out the anatomy on it, and it does not make sense. I can't figure it out. It looks so wrong. I can't even look at that cover. I know people like that cover, but man, I hate that cover more than anything.
It's a 90s, 90s anatomy, doesn't need to make sense.
I guess. I mean, it looks like she's got 4 arms or something like that. I can't. This one, at least, like Brian said, he took the art, and then actually this one you can actually see the anatomy correctly. Like it looks like what you would actually see. The original, hate that cover. Hate it with a passion, but I think there's like the trade dress, the Battle Chasers is in yellow. Yes. And then this one is in purple, I think. Is that what the version?
Yeah, because
is
the original, if you remember, the original had a Dynamic Forces version, I believe, that the tattoo was in gold foil. So yes, they played off of that, which is so smart. Like to do a version, of less than 1,000, 500, to play off the original like that is smart. So
yeah. So these are selling for 45 to 50. I think the buy-in was half of that. So not bad for. And that Battle Chaser just came out like this week, right? Or
Yeah.
last week?
Yeah. Recent, very recent, June 14th.
Oh, so yeah, this week.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff. Shout out to Bird City for continuing to kill it and do great things. Love them over there. Great peeps, great product, great company.
Yeah, I'm not like a huge, and you know me, I don't shout anybody out, good or bad. If it's a bad variant, I don't say who the store is. If it's a good one, I don't say who the store is. But Bird City are our friends for sure. They've been with us for a long time. You know, but even before Anthony decided to actually do like that full time,
Yeah.
he was around. So I wish nothing but positive things for them and their business. But that's not what was on here. I don't obviously, I don't put books on here just because I like the people. I put it on here because it was selling for way more than what the buy-in was. So
Yeah. Yep. Great stuff. Great stuff. Let's continue on to number 9 this week. War of the Realms, New Agents of Atlas, issue 1. So many first appearances in this, so many variants in this. Such a great spec book, and it's back on the list this week at number 9.
holy cow! I didn't even realize it. This book had fallen 9/8 of this had fallen to $45, like $45 for this. This thing was like what, $150, $175 book, like just like a year ago. I mean, it was down to $45. Um, I don't. Something must have happened because there was a ton of sales of 9/8 of this week, and the price was all the way back up to almost double what the lows were just a few weeks ago. So this was back to selling for like 80 to 90. Did something happen with Luna Snow, or because that's the first Luna Snow, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
I
because
believe so.
it wasn't issue 2 first Swordmaster.
Yes, I think that is correct. So did something happen this week? Obviously, I have no idea if something did, but
So issue number 1 has got so many damn first appearances. You get the first appearance of Luna Snow, Wave, Crescent, and Io. And then you've got a first U.S. appearance of Arrow, and you have a Swordmaster cameo on the cover only. And then number 2 was that first Swordmaster, I believe, right?
Chitlin says actress chosen for Luna Snow.
Ooh, that's big. That's big. Nice.
Oh, it's a K-pop singer.
Very cool.
A singer with no acting.
Well,
I mean,
that
like
happens
this,
all the time.
Yeah, I mean, those K-pop stars are
basically acting.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that, and then there's a huge following for all those.
Yeah.
Different K-pop stars.
Okay. Well, I feel like, did we put this on by the dip like a couple months ago or something when it was really cheap? Or I don't even, maybe we didn't, but maybe we said to buy it because it was so cheap. But
yeah.
When it was down to $45, I probably should have bought some, but
Oh man, there's people that have stacks of these books, and congrats to them that waited. Again, cyclical spec. Everything comes back around. It's just how long you have to wait, and that's the problem, right? So certain books you might have to wait forever, but certain books, you know that their time is coming. And there's certain characters right now. We know that Young Avengers is one. Man, you might be buying up all those 250 9/8 Young Avengers because those characters are coming. And same with these characters are coming. It's just, yeah, it's like Brad says, timing is everything.
We get Chillins again with the YG Entertainment comment. Oh,
I'm sorry, bro. I didn't mean to do that. Go for it.
YG Entertainment has denied the recent rumor stating that Black Genie will not be joining the Marvel Cinematic Universe Agents of Atlas series.
Interesting. Just rumors that are causing this book to jump. Very interesting. Yeah, I think that's not just Marvel's next big market. It's everybody's next big market, right? So
so then probably Taguchi would be the character to watch
yeah,
if Korea is the giant market for it.
yep, I agree. What is this selling for?
9/8s are back up to 80 to 90.
Not bad. Not bad. All right. Next at number 8, Coyotes issue number 1 from Image Comics. This is a 2017 issue, and there is a second print red variant to this, but this is a great cover. But why is it on the list this week?
I don't know. It was like selling for like cover price, and now it's like $15 to $20. I was hoping that you guys would know. I've been working really hard this week, and so I haven't I've been like on no chats. I've been on the only thing honestly this entire week that I've been following is the Reds. That's basically it.
I don't blame
So
you, bro.
if it's not the Reds, then I don't know anything about anything, and I have no clue what this. I've seen this cover before. I always thought it looked odd, like because it looked like her head was way bigger.
Oh,
than
here
her
we go.
arms.
Jordan Peele and Selena Gomez are partnering up to develop a Coyotes adaptation 2 days ago.
Okay,
So there you go.
Well, Selena Gomez and who?
Jordan Peele from Key and Peele. He's the guy that directed the movie and
Get Out?
Nope,
Get
Get
Out?
Out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aaron.
Aaron, yeah.
Yeah, so now people can spell my name correctly, finally. So
And Selena Gomez? What?
And Selena Gomez, dude.
What kind of weird? That's a weird thing.
weird collaboration.
Yeah, that's super odd. But okay, well, Coyotes. What's the story about? A chick with swords. She got blood all over her hands, so she's killing somebody.
Yeah. Let's take a look.
And then origami in the background.
Ron, where are you? Where is Aaron right now?
Oh my god! All right, let's
Present.
Yeah. All right. It says here that Coyotes was described as a Kill Bill meets The Last of Us with a mythic element. So there you go.
Okay.
Not bad. Not bad.
I like Kill Bill.
Yeah. I like Jordan Peele.
Yep.
Aaron, where are you? Where is?
So Wookiee Fighter says the second print is so rare. Okay, well I guess all right. So this one's now stuck in my brain too. Next time I go to a store, I will look for Coyotes second print.
Yeah.
Hey, I will say this: if I find a second print, I'll give it away. How about that?
Nice.
There we go. Stein packs. Be on the lookout. How much is this one selling for you say?
15 to 20 for this A cover. Is there? I'm assuming there's a.
There is a second print red cover.
Is there a B cover to this?
I don't think there's a B cover unless I'm wrong. There, I could be wrong. But I know there is a second print red one that sounds like it's super rare. So be on the lookout.
I wonder if there's one from the mystery bags from the 25th anniversary of Image.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, the black mystery bags.
Yeah.
Very interesting. All right, let's continue on at number 7 this week. Edge of Spider-Verse issue 1, the Ken Lashley second print Virgin variant 1 in 25. Jesus, this is getting ridiculous. At number 7 this week. Is the reason for this because of the cover? Because the cover is so cool? Because there's other covers that are better. Chat, let us know on this one.
I mean, it's following that second print 1 in 25, and it's going to be prevalent this week, unfortunately. But yeah, the cover is pretty sick, right?
That's crazy. The spider cover right there. But other than the cover, I can only think of other than being a 1 in 25 second print, but is there anything crazy going on in the issue of Edge of Spider-Verse issue number 1 that really is going to push this?
Is this a new character?
That could be. It could be. I don't know. It's a great question. You should know. Quit working and watching the Reds.
He's excited about LA De La Cruz.
No. All right,
Hey,
so
the Reds beat Houston tonight.
Yeah, I mean they're playing them all weekend, so I might have to go to one of those games.
I was gonna say they're down there. You should go.
Yeah.
there are some such good covers to this, man. There's the Patrick Brown 1 in 50 Virgin variant. There's the Ron Lim second print variant. That's a decent Ron Lim cover. There's the Scotty Young variant. There's the Ken Lashley 1 in 25 regular. That's really good. The connecting variant is awesome. There's just a lot better covers. Even though this is a decent cover, there's better covers for this one, in my opinion.
So I'm looking at the chat and it says, yes, Spider Killer is who this character is.
Okay.
But then Patrick says the character on the cover dies, although they lay an egg.
You have a war situation going on. All right.
Gross.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is this selling for?
40 to 50.
40 to 50
That's our,
for 1 in 25.
I feel like that's the standard second print 1 in 25
selling price.
dollar amount.
Yeah, right out the gates. Yeah. All right, here we go. At number 6, Star Wars issue number 34, second print Virgin 1 in 25.
Yeah. What was it last week? The 35 Noto was on the list.
Yep.
And so this one's 34, so we're going back an issue. This one is also selling for $40 to $50. This one looks better than the Noto from last week on issue 35.
Yes, much better.
Like way, way, way better. I think Leia looks amazing on this cover.
Yeah. I just hate the fact, and I'm going to be a Star Wars nerd right here for a second. This is really nerding it out on Star Wars, but I hate the fact that they decided in the recent years to make it okay for Jedis to have yellow lightsabers. The yellow lightsaber was one of the coolest things about Star Wars back in the day, when it was so rare, and it was such a rare thing to have a yellow lightsaber, and there was like only 1 or 2 Jedis that had it, and you only had to have a certain type of thing to have and now it's just, I see yellow lightsabers everywhere, and I hate that. So, but
what's the story behind them?
I thought it was originally like an error, like on a comic or something like that. That Luke
they
had
put a yellow lightsaber on a card back of Obi-Wan.
Okay.
Back in the day, but the yellow lightsaber, it says here, indicated a Jedi Sentinel, a Jedi who honed his or her skills in a balance of combat and scholarly pursuits. But I feel like that there was a different meaning back in the day. Like there was like, it was super, super rare to have yellow lightsabers back in the day. I could be
like where it's almost like a gray Jedi. Can only get it.
Yes. Yeah. But it is what it is.
Hyde saying Temple Guardians traditionally use yellow.
Yeah. So, very interesting. Very interesting. Well, the 1 in 25s continue on the show tonight, you guys. Second print 1 in 25s, that is. How much was this selling for you again?
40 to 50.
Again, at that sweet spot. All right, you guys, second half of the list. Let's continue on 220 live right now. Please hit that thumbs up, you guys. It really, really helps us out. At number 5 this week, here we go. Another second print Virgin 1 in 25 for Groot, issue number 1, the Momoko, at number 5 on the list this week.
It's funny. When I was scrolling through and I was finding pictures or whatever. My little 5-year-old got really excited when she saw this picture or when she saw this cover. She was like, "Oh, I love Groot," and she loves this picture. This for Momoko, I think is this kind of fits, right? With little baby Groot.
The praying mantis. Yeah, this is a great Momoko cover.
Yeah, I think this one fits for her style for sure. But prices on this one are all over the place. Kind of as low as 60, as high as over 100 I don't really know where the price probably is going to end up falling on this one. There's not near as many of these out there as there are of the other two. So, which makes sense because it's just Groot rather than Star Wars or Edge of Spider-Verse. Um, but it's also going to have a smaller buying pool of people who would spend big money on on a Groot book.
Yeah.
But
I think it would have changed a little bit if it was a Groot and Rocket cover. But I mean, I don't know where you would fit Rocket into that as well.
yeah, and I think, like I said, I think it just matches like something that a kid would like. I mean, this looks like something from like a coloring book, or all Groot is sad today, or something. Something like that. It just looks like something that would be much more tailored to small children.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Very, very cool. This is one of the few Momoko covers that I'm all about. So
I have the other one right here. So
the
one that you're all
send
about?
it out, right?
no, this is the TMNT.
Oh
this,
yeah,
this
yeah.
one's staying in the PC for a long time because the Ghost Spider one that's already out the door.
it's so weird. I'm looking at the comments, and everybody else seems to like this cover too.
Yeah, it's great.
Um, yeah, it's odd. I mean, it's odd. I mean, you rarely hear me compliment Momoko art, but
350 covers she's done for Marvel to date so far.
That's just
Yeah.
Marvel though too. Think about that. Like, 'cause she was doing a lot for other indie publishers as well during that
Wow.
time period. Did she?
Wow.
I'm surprised her hand didn't fall off.
I know.
Man.
Maybe that's why some of them are so bad. Moving on, number 4. There it is. Said it would be back on the list, and Spider-Punk issue number 1 is back on the list. This is the 1 in 50 Okazaki. Is it Okazaki? Is that how to say it? Okazaki variant at number 4
Sounds right.
this week.
Yeah, it was Raws were like last week were like 80 to 90, 9/8 were like at 220 or something like that. Raws are now up to 125, 9/8 are up to 300. So it's still going up. Again, this one is like defying like all the odds. Like this was hot and expensive when it came out. Then it dropped way back. And now it's like once everybody's cool with Spider-Punk again, then this is like the one that everybody wants.
Yeah.
Well, it was also like tough to get in high grade as well too because like the paper was so cheap. But then like a lot of people were, didn't like the storyline. I mean, I'm not one that was a fan of the storyline either. But I mean, this is a great cover.
You
Yeah.
hated this story, right? Didn't you, Brian?
It was terrible. It was absolutely god awful, bro. No, seriously.
With his sidekick, Captain Anarchy, right?
Bro, it was so bad, but the art was so good, and like the design of the characters, how it had this Taskmaster character that was totally like misfits, and it was terrible though. You could tell that the writer, the person who wrote it, had no idea what punk culture was, had no clue, It was bad. It was really bad. So bad that I didn't even go after any of them, and I'm a huge fan of Spider-Punk. So, yeah. But here it is. Spider-Punk. This is a great reason that covers are just... People collect covers nowadays so much more than anything else. Anything in story-wise, first and second appearance-wise, it's so much about collecting covers. And I think that's the reason why we don't see people sell as many prints anymore and stuff like that, because people are just putting these covers on their walls, And this is a perfect example of one of those books. This is a great cover. All the art and covers on the series were great. But it is what it is. How much again was it selling for?
Raw's 125 and 9/8 up to 300.
Wow, not bad. Do we remember what the peak was on this book? Because this book came out hot. I wonder if it's over the peak back in that time period.
I can
I want to
look
say
real
I feel like that's close to the same.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hold on, I can tell you really quick. Let's see. Okazaki variant. Well, the 12-month average is 227. The 22. Let's see. The high was 400. Was the highest it ever sold, but that was only one sale. Most of the other 9.8 sales were like 178 in 2022, 178, 206, 190, 148.
So it's reaching its high point.
Yeah, this year basically it started in January, it was all at 225, 200, 187, and then this week 235, 230, 250, 300, 290, 290
Not bad.
this week. So yeah, it's basically higher than it's ever been.
Well, for good reason. The movie is damn good. Have you seen the movie yet, Stein? Oh,
Nope.
you need to see it, dude.
Dude, I'm about to go see it a second time in theaters, and I never see movies twice in theaters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just haven't had time. I we were on vacation. My wife still wants to see it. My daughter has seen it. I think at least once. She might have seen it twice. My oldest daughter. I know.
I'll send you a link, dude. All right, let's continue on. Number 3 this week. Oh, The Sickness, issue number 1, the 1 in 10 Connolly variant from Uncivilized Comics. This book is so hot on the people's minds in all the chats I'm in, the community. Everybody's talking about this book right now. Shout out to Mighty Mel V again, who definitely spotlighted this book. This is a really, really cool series and a very, very interesting story from what I hear. A lot of people are, we talk about how covers sell, but this one's selling because of the stories, even though this is an amazing cover. But man, the story is supposed to be super gnarly.
If you looked at all the covers for this, they are all really cool. I love all the covers for this. The A cover that was on the list last week I love that cover. It just is crazy to when you look at that. The 1 in 5, like if you actually like from afar, you're like, it doesn't look good, but when you look at it up close, like it is super demented. Like that 1 in 5 cover.
Yeah.
And this one is like so classic looking with the font of the Sickness writing, and then the old school,
beautiful
30s hat and everything. Just it's gorgeous. You could have bought this off of what's the publisher's name again?
Uncivilized Comics. What do you mean could have?
Could have. It was on available as of I think last week on their website for like $10, $15, something like that. I checked because I was on vacation. I didn't have a chance to buy it, and then I checked yesterday or today. I can't remember, and it was sold out. So you cannot do that anymore. But
By the way, you guys, issue number 3 is not sold out. This book is not sold out as of right now. So heads up, go eat.
which this exact one?
This exact one. Everything else looks like it's sold out.
I thought that this one was sold out.
I'm looking right now. Hold on here.
This one is, by the way, selling for 50 to 60. So it's a
Oh,
in
wow.
10. 1 in 10 is selling for 50 to 60.
Yeah, I've heard the reception of this has been very well received, and that they're going to do like second prints for issue 1.
Well, here we go, you guys. You ready? It looks like this is still available for $6 a piece on Uncivilized.
I hear the sharks are coming.
Go eat. Go
No,
eat.
I might have to.
Take
I
a
might have to buy
second.
that.
You're gonna have to take
Yeah.
a minute.
What's the website?
Uncivilizedcomics.com. Here you go. Let me go ahead and just drop this in the private chat before I give it to everybody else. But
No, give it to everybody else.
I'm going
Whoever
to give
gets
it to
there.
everybody. Hold on.
Yeah,
All
just
right,
give
here
it
we
to
go.
everybody else.
But you gotta get a jump start, right, Stein?
There you guys go.
See,
It says that A is sold out, B is still available, C is still available, D is sold out, E is sold out, set of 5 is sold out. So let's see if it's still sold out.
I'm like on their website.
Yeah, B is still available. This is B.
Where do I
That's
not see
creepy.
this?
Whoa.
I told you,
C,
see, like, look, so look, you look at that from afar, and you're like, that's not that great. But when you like look at that like close up,
oh, it's
holy cow,
creepy.
what? Like, that is like so messed up.
Like there's ground beef coming out of people's eyes and mouths and
I
nose.
know. Oh my gosh, it is so messed up.
Yeah, the sickness. Where's Billy?
Okay,
Shout
yeah,
out to
so
Billy.
B and C. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to buy this.
Yeah.
'cause-
So there you guys go. Congrats to everybody that got in on that. Pretty sweet book, man. 1 in 10 on the list, and I'm glad I went and took a look for everybody out there. Chum in the water. You're right. Sharks get at it. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah. Thanks, Zombie Prophet, also.
Yeah, there you go. I linked while you guys are jibber jabbering. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. All right. How much were they selling for? 30 to 40, you said?
It's
no,
60.
yeah,
60.
50 to
Woo!
60 on this one.
Wow. Very
Now,
cool.
my guess is if people are picking it up now, they're probably going to, I would assume, well,
Drop.
I don't want to say, I would assume that it would go down, but
I mean, but with the popularity
for
of it, too.
$6, I mean,
It's a 1 in
It's
10,
worth it.
though.
yeah, I mean, $6.
Even if it drops down to like half, right, to
Yeah.
$30, that's like, even with that 6, that's still a win.
Yeah.
Yeah, $6. That's
Can't beat that,
right.
dude.
Hold on, you're gonna have to give me 2 seconds to.
2 seconds to everybody in the chat. Hey, you guys, 231 live watching right now. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button, hit the like button. We have got 95 likes right now with 231 live watchers, only 95 likes. Please get us up over that 100 likes amount. That will really help us out. And if you can get us to 200 likes, even better. There's over 200 of you guys watching live right now. So we really appreciate you hanging out with us on every Friday night for the Hot 10 show. We are at issue number 3 or book number 3 this week. It's been an absolutely amazing list this week. The Hot 10 is great. The Almost 10 is great. By the Dip was great. Some amazing books that people have been exposed to tonight because of the show. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that have never seen a lot of these books we talked about tonight. So congratulations again to everybody out there. Even Decor just got his. Completed my order for $10 with shipping. Investment buy. Yeah. Yeah.
I want the A cover though. I love that A cover.
The A cover's nice. Yeah. All right. Let's continue on. At number 2 this week, G.I. Joe and Transformers issue number 1. The first meeting of the G.I. Joes and Transformers old school Marvel series from back in the day. I'm not surprised at this one with all the news, the big news. I was so stoked. Every show that I've been on over this last week, I've talked about two of my favorite topics of all time. Toys from the 80s and G.I. Joes. Like, you can't beat that. And both Transformers and G.I. Joes are coming back in a big way. For everybody that got to see Beast Wars this week, you were privy to a nice little teaser trailer, end scene trailer, bringing the Joes into that world. And then, of course, we found out last Wednesday night that Void Rivals is bringing a shared universe to Skybound Comics of G.I. Joes and Transformers. pretty freaking cool.
Is that like in continuity? Like with
So this is what they're doing. So Void Rivals is being written by Kirkman, right? And he's doing the setup. Then they're going to be doing a Transformers series by Daniel Warren Johnson, and then a Duke series and a Cobra Commander series by Joshua Williamson. Those are coming out next. I think October is Transformers, and then December and January will be the G.I. Joe books. So, and then it's starting a whole new universe. And then they're going to continue in Skybound a Real American Hero series starting off at issue 301. And Larry Hama is going to be continuing that universe. And the way that Kirkman explained it was kind of similar to what happened with Marvel and the Ultimate Universe, how this is going to be like the Ultimate Universe for Joes and Transformers. And they're going to continue because the history is so long that they don't want to take that away from fans. So they're going to continue a Real American Hero with Larry Hama for those fans. I don't know what they're going to do for Transformers. I don't think that the Transformers series really had what the G.I. Joe series had. It feels like they always broke off into different, things, whereas a Real American Hero kind of stayed together for a long issue run, or a long storyline run. So,
yeah, so I guess that's why everybody is now after this book. Not that they weren't before. I mean, 9/8 were like $100 to $200 for this, which isn't bad, considering. But this week 9/8 are now $250 to $400. So definitely increase in price. Yeah, this week on this one.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, shout out to Jeff for having the name Jeff. Nice, excellent.
I thought the first meetup was like within the G.I. Joe run.
I don't think so.
Okay.
They did it later on in the G.I. Joe run, like in the 110s or something like that, when they brought in Ninja Force and stuff like that.
Okay.
But yeah. Yeah, this book is definitely, you can find this book in back issues for sure. The question is whether you find it in high grade. That's the
true.
question. Yeah, this is a book that was read and loved multiple times over by many people back in the day. Like this, G.I. Joe's is what got me into comics. I was a G.I. Joe toy fan, and I walked into a Circle K, and there was G.I. Joe comics on the rack, and I was like, holy shit, I got to read G.I. Joe comics. And the next thing I know, I'm buying Batman comics because the Batman movie came out. Like G.I. Joe's was a lot of people's inroad into comic books back then.
Yep, same here. Stop and go for me though.
There you go.
That was Circle K. Yep.
There you go. So good stuff, man. I'm not surprised. This is a great book, and I'm even less surprised that number one this week is the Void Rivals 1 in 100 Daniel Warren Johnson variant. Not surprised in the slightest. There we go.
Yeah, when I was looking up books last week while I was on vacation, I saw this one was selling well. That's really funny.
Yeah.
I saw that this one was selling really well last week, and then I realized, that book is not out yet. And then I knew, like, once I got back and then kind of seeing a few chats here and there, or like Instagram stuff, I was like, okay, this thing must be like a big deal. And I think they said I think I saw like some comments that some people were a little upset because they felt like if Kirkman didn't he pressed it like this would have been way more limited if they would have just kind of not told anybody what was actually going on. This would have been like exceptionally hard.
Nobody knew about this to begin with. This was such a big deal. I mean, there was a few people that knew about it, but one of the big stories about this is that it didn't leak. If you read all the articles, they say like how surprised they were that this didn't leak until like a couple days before that it came out. I mean, there was some people that kind of had an idea, and there were some people behind the scenes that knew, but for the most part, those people behind the scenes didn't leak it because they knew how big of a deal it could have been, it was going to be. So I disagree. I think that there was very few people that knew this was going to happen. They wanted it to happen, but I don't think they knew that Void Rivals was going to be it, because if that was the case, we would all been talking about it when Void Rivals got announced. But we were just saying, "Oh, here's a new Kirkman series that looks great," you know. So I don't know, man.
Like someone had told me like maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago, but then I was like, oh man, this is a big deal. Like, there's no point of like to be the first person to talk about it, leak it or whatever. I was like, you know, kind of like what Mel would say, like let the beat build on its own, and then eventually, like what Bleeding Cool did, that article like that Monday before it was released was like the first big leak I heard about it. But then by that point, you know, it's already way past FOC, all that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like the book's going. Yeah.
So check this out. Sean Kirkman, shout out to Big Clutch. He told us this on Wednesday night. He said there was only 10 spots for retailer exclusive variants available for this book. They couldn't fill them all. They only filled 6 of them, and they had to fill the final 4 by just reaching out to people, or people reaching out to them after they heard and saying, "Hey, do you have anything available?" And they had 4 spots available, right? So there was only 6 people that jumped on. If they would have known, that 10 spot would have been filled up immediately. But like, you know, there was, if you look at some of the covers, some of the retailer exclusives that are getting released that are like either sketch variants of the A and B or virgin variants of the A and B, those were like late editions. So that's the other reason why I think that very few people really knew. And if they did knew, I'll be honest, I fucking knew this for a long time. Before anybody ever told me, I knew it. I was like, there's no fucking way that this isn't going to Kirkman and Skybound. There's no way. But why would you tell everybody that? Why would you? I mean, it's one thing to come out and go, hey, you know, this would be awesome if Kirkman was going to do it. Hint, hint. You know, wouldn't it be great? But to say, no, it's happening, I don't think there's anybody that really did that because they were stoked to see this. You know? Hold on. What am I doing here? There we go. Jesus.
You're so excited. You're so excited about G.I. Joe and Transformers.
But I just want to say, I told you so.
Buttons.
Yeah, I told you so. I told you so. You guys should say it too.
I said it first.
Yeah, it feels good. Say it, Stein. Say it. Come on. It feels good. All right. Yeah. Check out the 1 second print A cover too. There we go.
This is selling for 180 to 200. The other incentives are not selling near. They're not even selling above ratio. This one clearly is. So,
but this is the only, or out of the first prints, this is the only cover with a Transformer on it, right?
Yeah, out of the first prints, yeah. The second print has Jetfire on it. I'm trying to find the cover here to show you guys. I can't find it. Anyways, the second print cover is really, really cool. Really, really cool. But Stein say
they're waiting for your line.
I don't get it. Yeah, that's gonna be a specialized merchandise.
Hey, I will say, I'm just gonna once again. Is there any book that I have out of any of these? Well, now
Not
I have
yet.
the sickness because I just ordered 2 copies. And if you didn't see in the chat, I will get when those come in, I will give one of those away. So
Yeah.
So,
The print count on this stuff is high, is not super high, but 100,000. So there's only going to be about 1,000 of the 1 in 100s. But if you guys are looking for rarity, again, I'm going to say it like I said the other night. The Maria Wolf Virgin variant that she did for Void Rivals #1 is only limited to 500. So there's only 500 of those out there, whereas there's about 1,000 of the 1 in 100s. So I don't know, man. I'm looking forward to this more than there's very few things that I'm looking for that I look forward to more than this in comics in a long time. I'm really, really stoked about the Joes and bringing the Joes back in both comics and movies. I just hope it can be done right in the movies. I know we'll never get a Tarantino G.I. Joe flick, but if we can get something close to it, I'd be super stoked. Very, very happy. And let me show you guys the second print that just got sent to me. There we go. Shout out to Jersey to the Bay.
I've also been hearing a lot about people that have never read G.I. Joe or Transformers really enjoying this series.
Yeah.
So that's also pretty exciting that you're getting a new audience that, haven't been exposed to that fandom. It's
a shitty picture, but it's okay because you guys can kind of get the idea, but it's much, much better, cleaner version of Jetfire. That's a great, great second print cover right here. So Jason Howard, Void Rivals, second print, cover A.
Because this is now going to be on Image, do you think this is, and now, I mean, this has obviously kind of energized the G.I. Joe and Transformer crowds. Do you think that some of the harder to find books from the IDW are going to draw more interest now, or people are like, it's not IDW, it's not with Image, I don't want to.
They've already started, Stein.
The prices are already starting to tick up on the 1 in 10s for G.I. Joe.
The John Royal variants are selling pretty heavy. People are buying G.I. Joe action figures and toys like crazy. G.I. Joe nostalgia is big. It's very big. And so is Transformers nostalgia. It's just as big. So this is a big, big deal. This is a big deal. And I'll even say not just the IDW G.I. Joe stuff, but my favorite G.I. Joe stuff is the Devil's Due Image stuff, right? It started on Image, and they had the little Devil's Due, and then it switched to Devil's Due only. But Josh Blaylock and Tim Seeley put out an amazing product with that run. It's my favorite G.I. Joe run. They introduced some very, very pivotal characters in that run, like Wraith. They have a great Chuckles storyline during that era. They turned Chuckles into just even a cooler character. So yeah, man, be on the lookout for that Image Devil's Due run. We've talked about the Michael Turner Graham Cracker variants in that. We've talked about the Invincible preview in 15, I think it is, or 14. So those books are going to start being on people's radar more so, I think. Some of those rare IDW variants, the rare Image variants, the McFarlane Special Series Snake Eyes. We should see a jump in that because that's really dropped. I don't think people realize how rare that was. Here's what's even more crazy are the Transformers variants. There are some super crazy Transformers variants, and that Cybertron one or Unicron variant is the book, I think, by far. So we'll see how it all plays out. And I definitely, Boom Reviews says, do you guys think Duke #1 and Cobra #1 will hit? And yes, I do.
Yeah. I feel like there's going to be good covers for each of those as well, too. Since it's divided like that, too, with one side being Duke, the other side being Cobra.
Yeah. Decor, I did know this. I did know that. Yes, sir.
Hey, do you still know that I still have the only 9/8 of that Cobra Baroness variant?
Yeah.
It's still the only 9/8 out there.
You should put it in a special Stein pack for me and just fix it.
Bro, I don't think I can get rid of it. I can't replace it.
I don't blame you.
I mean,
hey, Dennis, do you mean gender swaps, not race swaps, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's gender and race swapped. You know what? They're just going to make him a little puppy. Everybody loves puppies. So.
It's going to be, they're going to redo Snake Eyes wolf into a Duke dog, right?
Yeah, a little puppy.
It's
going to get Scotty Young G.I. Joe covers.
Ooh. What if he did it in the Middle West style or something like that?
Yeah. That'd be cool. But yeah, Void Rivals, #1 this week, you guys. And
My Little Pony. That's awesome.
Yeah. There we go. The Hasbro universe. Even Sears Roebuck's catalogs from back in the day sell for good money because of how strong nostalgia is. So I think nostalgia will carry this title. And here's what's even better. I'm hoping that the writing is very good. Joshua Williamson's great. Can't wait for that. Robert Kirkman's going to be overseeing it all. And here's what I just want to say one more time. I said it on Wednesday, and I'm talking to all the retailers out there. Don't fuck this up. Don't make 10,000 foil G.I. Joe variants. I don't want to fucking see them. Don't fuck this up. Don't ruin this. Big time collectibles. No foil variants for G.I. Joe. Don't do it.
with just a bunch of symbols on the cover.
Yeah, we already have those. They're just going to put a cobra or a Rashikage variant symbol on there. We already have those books. They're already made. Don't remake them. By the way, you guys, don't remake those books. I don't want to see just an Arashikage symbol on a variant or Transformers symbols. Like, if you're going to do that, at least make them like heat generated. You know what I mean? Like, use the same heat.
Ooh.
The heat stuff that, you know what I mean? Like, do
like
something
glow in the
smart.
dark, UV, something like that.
Yeah, don't fuck this up, retailers, because you guys can and will. If we don't hold you accountable.
Do you think Skybound would allow that, since they were doing like kind of like, hey, we're picking out the artists and stuff like that, and if you just want to sign up, you sign up.
It is they are holding that tight to the chest, from what I hear, that there are some rules on there. So listen, Robert Kirkman, please don't let them fuck this up, please. That being said, I'm looking forward to it. So all right, you guys, pretty sweet show tonight. Excellent stuff coming down the road. Make sure you guys are subbed up not only to the House of Stein, but also Beyond Wednesdays and all the other links below. We got a good show tomorrow, great show tomorrow night for Modern Comic Mayhem. If you guys have any topics that you guys ever want us to check out, drop them in the Discord under the show topic ideas, and we'll take a look at them. That being said, Stein, you got anything interesting coming up?
No, but I will be. Like I said, I'm setting up this Shopify thing. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I'm very excited because I think that I'm going to join you on the venture, on the Shopify venture, and we'll see how that plays. The whole Shopify plays out, because I think that for people that maybe want to sell things in this community, Shopify is a great way to go. If you're not selling on the like crazy regular basis, like you have 5 whatnot shows a week, Shopify is a great place to do it. So
I sell nowhere. I sell nothing on eBay. I sell nothing on whatnot. I sell nothing anywhere. So
that's why Shopify is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
So good stuff. And here's another thing to remember, you guys, and we'll leave it at this. You need to remember that eBay Live is here, and it is going to be awesome. That being said, much love. Adios. We'll see you next time. Peace.
See ya.